Hey everybody! Well, this week we are getting a bunch of stuff done. I'm putting in Starlink for fast internet, and we're putting in some fast Wi-Fi for all the villas. And I do a bunch of work on the inside of Villa 1 to get it up to the same point as Villa 2 and get pretty much the inside all finished, at least all the work that I'm doing. Now, we still have some things that we are waiting for subcontractors to finish up. I will have an update at the end of the video that I'll discuss the opening date and what we're going to be doing and when we're going to be announcing that. So stay with it to the end if you want to check that out. All right, let's get right to it. We're Dooglass and Esperanza, and we decided to leave our lives in the US, sell almost everything we own, and move to Baja California Sur, where we decided to start a resort in the magical town of Laredo, Mexico. Please come with us to follow our journey and live before you die. Today, we are getting the Starlink for the villas hooked up. Now, we have been we've been living down here for almost a month now because our air conditioner is out in our trailer and we want to work out all the bugs. But we've been using the internet from my Starlink, which is way up there on top of the shop. And it's hardwired down here. I got a 250-foot Ethernet, outdoor Ethernet cable, which is strung all the way down here. And then we have mesh routers down here. That's what we've been using. But I got the Starlink that is going to be dedicated just to the villas. Going to have their own Starlink for the villas. And I'm installing that today so I can get this switched over. And we're going to get up here and I'll show you where I put the dish and what we're going to have here. So each of the units will have their own mesh router. And then there's going to be an additional mesh router out by the pool area, an outdoor mesh router that I have. So you'll have awesome Wi-Fi out at the pool. Up here on the roof, I've got the satellite dish placed here. It's good because the wind comes from this direction, and I've got this wall to help block the wind. The wind either comes from this direction or from the east or from the south. Both directions are blocked, so we're good. And the Starlink wants to point up this direction to the north. We have a nice free area. In fact, I don't know if I've ever shown you this view, but this is from the rooftop of Villa 2 and the whole area here. Now, we have been thinking about possibly putting a rooftop deck on top of the villas and then putting a staircase up in between the villas here that would then access both the roofs for rooftop decks. Because there is a beautiful view from up here. You can actually get a little peekaboo ocean view. Well, hold on, let me point to the right area here. I'm looking at it backwards. There's a peekaboo ocean view right through there. There's another ocean view straight through there, a little peekaboo view. But then this beautiful view of the hills and then the mountains of Laredo all around here. And one day they may develop this lot in between us and the water, and if they do, they will probably have to take down some of these coconut trees because there's just too many there to do anything. And if they do that, then we will have a pretty good ocean view from here out to the ocean. So that's all coming along, but right now we're gonna work on getting that Starlink hooked up. Should be pretty easy. The last one was just plug and play. So we'll go down and plug it in and see how it works. All right, back in here in the villa. Going to get up here and take a look. So we have our Starlink router which we're not going to use because I have a separate mesh network for here. And Starlink does make a mesh network. Not a lot of people use it, doesn't have a lot of reviews. So I decided to go with something that was, you know, a really well-reviewed, well-used mesh network. Same one I'm using up at the house. And so each unit will have a hardwired mesh network hub. There'll also be one out in the pool, like I said. So these are all hardwired. So they all are going to have full speed internet, as fast as Starlink can go. And the advantage of the mesh is that only one password, one network for the entire property. And then your phone or tablet or computer, once you hook up, you go out to the pool, it will automatically jump you over to the pool mesh hub when you get into range of that, and that gets stronger than this one. So as you move along the property, it will move you from hub to hub to get you the strongest signal, and you don't have to hook up to a different network down at the pool or a different network in your villa. So it's a great setup, and you're going to have super fast internet everywhere. I've been getting about 350 megabit maximum, like super early in the morning, like 5 o'clock in the morning. And once people are up and using it at the peak time of the day, like in the afternoon, evening time, which is a peak use of the day, still get probably 150 to 200 megabit out of this Starlink uplink on a regular basis. So I think if you look at our average, it's like 290 megabit is like the average uplink speed over our entire time we've had it running. So super fast internet, we use it. We've used it ever since we've been on the property here. We stream all our TVs off of it. We use our computer, everything, upload videos for YouTube. And it's really fast and it works really good. And all the TVs are smart TVs here, so you'll be able to come, stream any content you want. They've got all the apps on them, so Netflix, Amazon Prime, Hulu, whatever you have, you can hook up to your home streaming service and stream anything you want and watch to your heart's content. So good way to go. Let's hook this thing up. All right. To use a separate mesh network, you have to have the Ethernet adapter, because you have to have a way. Otherwise, you just get the Wi-Fi network out of the router, which I want a hardwired network to hardwire all my mesh hubs so it's super fast all the time. So I ordered a Starlink Ethernet adapter with my router. That plugs into the router instead of the cord, and then this is the cord from the satellite, plugs into the Ethernet router, and then this here will be the Ethernet connection that'll plug into the mesh network. So I'm going to wait to do that until I get the network up and running. Now we just need to plug in this. Now this will all be hidden once you're here, and in fact, I'll probably lay this mesh router down so you can't even see it, because we're not going to use the Wi-Fi from this, so it doesn't matter that it would be laying down. And then we plug in the power cord in the bottom. Starlink is so easy. So now the Starlink is already probably starting to move the dish around. It's not going to work till I get on the app. So the next step is I get on the app, get connected to the router, tell the router where we are so it has an idea of where the satellites are. I give it our location, then it'll find the satellites and hook up, and we already have an account and everything going, so it should be seamless. We should have Wi-Fi through this thing in a matter of minutes. So let's see how it works. Well, it's another day, but the Starlink didn't go quite as easy as planned, but it wasn't that bad. It was more user error because I had a second account or second Starlink on one account and trying to get them both up and running. But once I got that all resolved, everything is up and running. We have out here at the pool area our outdoor router, and each of the villas have their own router. So here in Villa 1, you can see the mesh router is up there on the top. There's only a mesh router here because the Starlink router is in Villa 2. The Wi-Fi is actually good. We've got strong Wi-Fi over the entire property here. So whether you're in one of the villas, you're at the pool, even in the Lavenderia, in the parking lot, everywhere has nice strong Wi-Fi, fast. So you can do anything from anywhere. You can upload videos from the pool or stream a video while you're in the laundry room doing your laundry. So we're all set for you here at Pufferfish Villas. Well, good morning, everybody. It's a new day. I think it's Sunday. And I am working in here on Villa number 1. Now, we kind of had a meeting late yesterday, Esperanza and I, and we are trying to set an opening date in the next week. Or like the date won't be in the next week, but we're going to set the date in the next week. We think we're going to be to the point that we have all our milestones done. And so to be able to get a site up where people can book and they can actually see what the villa looks like, we are going to refocus inside Villa number 1 and work to get it complete. So today I'm here. I already, as I showed you, got this desktop completed. I got the power station mounted on the desktop, which is the same as the other villa, already has installed. I got cleats to mount the desktop in. The desk is in and looking nice. It's got a nice finish on it. I put an edge on this one, a little trim piece on this side. It's got the power center all hooked up, ready to go here with USB and USB-C charging ports and power ports for your laptop or anything else. And there'll be a light on here just like the other villa. So that's one more thing. And now I am turning my attention to the bathroom and this vanity here. This vanity was originally between 2 walls, so it doesn't have any side pieces on it. And this side piece would be very difficult to make look good enough. So I have cut out a panel to go on the side, just like the other villa. And so I need to remove this plastic lip here that was used to hold the lighting underneath here. And then I can, once I cut that out, I can install the panel, and then I have to sand and grind this entire edge to get it smooth like the top. All right, I got this edge all cleaned up. I'll show you here. That turned out fantastic. I was able to round this off and sand it and get a very smooth, nice edge on this quartzite top. And it is really beautiful, and I was able to do that using my palm sander, Porter Cable palm sander. I've used that forever. It's an awesome palm sander. And automotive sandpaper. This is what you use when you're doing painting and body work on automobiles. The main reason I would use this is because it's meant to be used wet or dry. And with the countertop, you need to sand it wet. One, to keep the dust down, but also to help lubricate it and sand it. So the automotive sandpaper on that palm sander worked fantastic for this edge. Okay, well, I do not have another piece of thin plywood. In fact, I've used up all my mahogany plywood. And there's no mahogany plywood here that I've found. I found stuff that's close. Probably would work, but I decided to go with my first option. Chamfer the top edge of this. I don't know. I think it'll be fine once it's stained. Nobody that isn't looking for it will really notice it. I mean, I guess if you're sitting on the toilet and you got nothing else to do, you might notice it, but yeah, I think it'll be okay. So it's going in. Continuing to make progress on Villa number 1 on this scorcher. It's been 105 today. It is in the afternoon. I think it's like 104, and with the heat index it's probably 120. But got the shelves in the kitchen here, and got the microwave mounted. You can see I still have some cleanup to do where there was some hinges mounted, because this cabinet originally had doors on it. So I'm gonna have to cover up those hinge mounts, and unfortunately we labeled them with Sharpie, and I have to get the Sharpie off. If anybody has any ideas to get the Sharpie off. I know acetone takes Sharpie off of things like metal and glass, but I couldn't find any acetone here. I'm still looking. So if you got any other ideas what might take Sharpie off, I don't want to have to sand that all the way down to bare wood, because I'll never be able to match it up with the rest of it. So shoot me some ideas if you have any ideas in the comments below on how to get Sharpie off of the wood. Shouldn't have been on there in the first place, but I wasn't thinking that I might use this cabinet without the doors. So great progress on a hot day, and got the desk done, the bathroom cabinet done, shelves up, and the microwave cabinet done. And I've got all the stops on here like the other ones, so the microwave won't move around when you use it, so that's good. So I guess I gotta look around and find something else to do. Not time to go to bed yet. Thanks everybody for watching the video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. We are getting so close to being able to open. I wish I could set a date today and open up the reservations, but we've got 3 things we just have to get done before we can set a date. We need the pool equipment so we can get the pool up and running. We still don't have that. That's like about a month behind. We need air conditioning in Villa number 1, which we have no air conditioning, and again, is week after week after week. They're coming next week, they're coming next week. Nobody ever comes. So and then there's the front door for Villa number 1 and all the interior doors for the villas. We were originally told 3.5 months ago that the doors would be ready in 3 weeks. We are now 3.5 months later, and we still have no doors. The builder can't get a hold of the carpenter. He already has all the money, all the materials. He was here a couple weeks ago, told me that all the doors were done. He was going to come put them in the next day. Never showed up. This, unfortunately, is a typical thing here that you have to get used to in Mexico. And I think it all comes down to Mexicans think it's rude or inappropriate to say no. They never want to say no. And so if you ask them, are you gonna come do this tomorrow? If they have no intention of coming and doing it tomorrow, they'll say, yeah, I'll come do it. Mañana. Mañana doesn't mean tomorrow. Mañana, when told to you by somebody that's coming to do work for you, or somebody is going to bring you something, means not today. It doesn't mean tomorrow. It means maybe sometime in the future, maybe never, but I just don't want to say no, so I'm just going to say tomorrow. And they will continue to say mañana, mañana, mañana forever. They will never say no. even if they never intend to do it. So it's just something you have to get used to here and plan for. So it's become obvious that the carpenter, at least I believe, is off on another big job. I don't think he has time to finish our job. I don't know how that came about, but we're going to have to work on contingency plans. So we'll see how that goes in the next couple of videos. We may have to get another carpenter in La Paz to try to recreate the door on the other villa, the rounded door, and then put that in. And I may have to put in a temporary door in the meantime. So it's a bad situation because we're trying to get open, but that's just something you have to deal with. You deal with the stuff like this everywhere where you're doing construction, and it's just more difficult here because it's impossible to get true information about whether they're actually ever going to do it and when, because you'll always get told, we'll be there tomorrow, we'll be there next week, and then it never happens. So not much we can do about that. We just have to work around it the best we can. But until we get those 3 things done, we can't start renting, and we don't want to start taking reservations, and then we can't get a door on there by November 1st if we set that as a date, and then we'd have to cancel all the reservations until we can get the door on there. So we really have to wait. I hate to do it, but stick with us. We're trying as hard as we can to get this finished, and we can't wait to see you guys and have you guys come here and stay. So thanks again for watching, and never forget to live before you die.